Well, now I can say that one of my favorite actors, Tom Selleck, and I have something in common because last week I got to do something I've literally wanted to do since I was a teenager. Got to go to the oldest, longest running civilian firearms training academy, Gunsight Academy in Paulden, Arizona. And in today's video, I'm going to kind of give you a quick review of the Gunsight 250 course that I took, tell you a little bit about Gunsight, talk about what I liked and didn't like about the course, and give you some tips, maybe if you're considering taking it yourself, and maybe show you a little footage of my performance while I was there. Stick around, that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me here at the possibly the world's messiest indoor studio right now. And please forgive me if my throat's a little cloggy. I just spent last week, as I said, at Gunsight Academy in Paulden, Arizona, taking the 250 Gunsight class, and it's kind of the high desert, like 4,500 feet above sea level, very dry, very deserty. Now I'm back in Georgia with the humidity level, I don't know what, and my nose is kind of stopped up and my throat's kind of messing up. So anyway, please bear with me. Anyway, if you're not familiar with Gunsight Academy, it was founded in 1976 by retired United States Marine Corps Colonel Jeff Cooper, with the express purpose for teaching civilians the martial use of a handgun and of a firearm. In other words, how to fight and defend yourselves with a gun. I was originally named the American Pistol Institute, and Mr. Cooper changed the name to Gunsight. Mr. Cooper, Colonel Cooper, I guess, died in 2006 at 86 years old, but his goal of teaching Americans to be able to defend themselves lives on both at Gunsight and in other excellent schools throughout the country, such as Tactical Response and Thunder Ranch and others. So what I thought I would do in this video is just kind of give you the, again, my take on the 250 class, and then my kind of pros and, some things I liked and maybe didn't like about it, and some tips in case you're interested in doing it yourself. But first, I got to give a big thank you to Ken Campbell, the CEO of Gunsight, because my friend John Abbott from Hog Holsters, not only did he kind of arrange my meeting with Ken about a year and a half ago, and Ken was kind enough basically to let me come take the class at no cost, which thank you, Ken, for that. I'm just being straight with you, to be honest with you. It was a very, very generous offer of him. And then John Abbott at Hog Holsters, he furnished my ammo. He reloads this ammo. I know a lot of people say don't use reloads in training, and I would say the same thing. But I got to say, John's green beans, as he calls them, function flawlessly. I think throughout the course of the week, I might have had one that didn't go bang, and I'm not sure about that because we were using some training dummy rounds, and I might have had two dummy rounds in one magazine. But also, John, by the way, just a heads up, Hog Holsters rocks the house. He let me borrow his camper, and I stayed in the campground there at Gunsight. So a great week, and a great thanks to both Ken and John for that. And again, you can save 10% on your order at Hog Holsters by using the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word. And I used a Hog Holsters outside the waistband holster, which is kind of a prototype still. You'll be hearing about that soon on the channel for the week of the training, because the 250 class is the introduction class to Gunsight, kind of the gateway, kind of like fighting pistol at Tactical Response, sort of. It kind of helps set the baseline, lets you understand the philosophy of training at that particular school, and they require outside the waistband holsters for that first class. So, and there's a good reason for that, because there's people in this class. There's like 23 people in my class, and they are at a wide range of skill levels. There was people that were absolute beginners. There was a woman in there. She was, I don't know how old she was. I think she was older than me, and I'm 62. And it was obviously she was a beginner, and she progressed so much throughout the week. It was unbelievable. But there's also people in there that were very, very skilled, way more so than me. So all ranges of people, and everybody, I'm sure, got something out of the class. Matter of fact, a couple of guys that were in the class told me, like, you know what, I called. They said, I think I'm more advanced. I don't need to take the 250 class. And I said, no, that's just the way it is. Everybody starts there. And about 2 days in, I was talking to them at lunch. They said, yeah, we're glad we did this. This has been really, really helpful so far. Okay, so let's talk about the Gunsight 250 class. And I'm going to try to slow myself down. I'm having a habit of talking too fast. But it's a 5-day class. Starts bright and early on Monday morning. And the first session is a classroom session, and that session starts with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, which I thought was pretty cool. Then there's a very, very brief history of Gunsight and housekeeping stuff about what you need to know about the week coming up. And then we talked about safety, because we're dealing with firearms. Safety is paramount. And I think Mr. Cooper is credited with coming up with these 4 rules. I don't know who really came up with them to begin with, but he certainly gets a lot of credit for it. But here they are. And the first one is, all guns are always loaded. The second one is, never let your muzzle cross anything you're not willing to destroy. The third one is, keep your finger off the trigger until your sight's on target. And the fourth one is, be sure of your target and what's beyond it, which is not on here. I think those are really good rules. And if you follow that first one, the other ones will fall right in line. So they introduced us to our instructors. My instructors, I really, really liked them. I'm sure all these instructors there are good. All I can tell you about is mine. But Freddie Bliss was the range master, which I guess is like the chief instructor. He's a retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Marine Corps, which my first impression, honest to be straight with you, when I heard that, I thought, Colonel of the Marine Corps, that's going to be somebody that acts like he's got a stick up his butt. He doesn't. Freddie's a really, really laid-back good dude. Gary Smith, who's been maybe one of the longest continuous instructors there, and Joe Avila, who is one of the newest instructors, but he was a retired LAPD, SWAT, and different cops. So he's been there and done that. Really great guys, all really great guys, good people and good instructors. So anyway, after the classroom session, we went to the range and started working on fundamentals. First thing we did was dry practice, which I was glad to hear Freddie call it dry practice, because my friend James Yeager calls it dry practice because you're not firing. It's not dry fire. So anyway, that's just something that immediately stuck out at me, because I'm all, my radar's on a little bit just to compare it to other classes. We'll talk about that at the end. But really good. And we went into fundamentals, everything from grip to draw stroke, just everything basic. Then we started firing, and just a lot of basic fundamentals through the first day, and actually into the second day. We started speeding things up and increasing the distance as the days went on. So anyway, at the end of the second day, we did what they call the Duck of Death, which I think is based on the Duke of Death from a movie, a Western movie. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I didn't do too badly. I finished 4th out of 23, but I was nailing it. Just bang, 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 bang. We're shooting steel, and then the wheels fell off. So my wheels fell off a time or two during the week. So anyway, that was the second day. The third day, Wednesday, we got a first look at the indoor, what they're calling the indoor simulator. Some people call it a shoot house. Clint Smith calls his a think house. Basically, we did a run through of a kind of a room clearing drill with a blue gun and instructor helping us and teaching us and giving us tips and guidance, helping us learn the best way to work out some of the different problems that present themselves in there and figuring stuff out. And that was really cool. I put some of that footage up here while I'm talking, because I'd never done that before. Actually, I did a walkthrough with Clint Smith, but I didn't do it with a gun in my hand actually trying to do it. So did that with a blue gun, which is pretty cool. Then Thursday, the fourth day, we did an actual live fire run through of the one of the shoot houses, or it's indoor simulators. We're shooting frangible ammo at steel, and there's good guys and bad guys. Obviously, you don't want to shoot the good guys. Did pretty good on that. And then we did what was my favorite of the week, okay? We did an outdoor simulator. So they're out in the desert. They got these arroyos, gullies, or whatever, and there's some steel targets placed throughout those. And again, good guys and bad guys. And you got to identify which ones are which. And really, I enjoyed that. But my instructor said I had a really, really good run on Thursday on that. So I felt pretty good about it. I did probably my best performance of the week on Thursday there. It was just really good, and I really enjoyed it. I think that's, to me, I don't plan on clearing too many houses. I'm going to call the cops. But that really, I can see a cross-applicability, if that's a word, to just, I spend a lot of time outdoors, arroyos, gullies, parking lots, places, buildings. It was really, really helpful. And I think there's really a really strong real-world applicability to that one. So, but then we started doing some time drills, and I'd never done this before either, where you got targets that flip over. So you got a certain amount of time to shoot them. We did the schoolhouse drills and El Presidente. I'll tell you real quickly about the El Presidente, was where you just have you got 10 seconds to shoot 3 targets twice each, and you got to reload in between it. And I think there's a clip of that. I'll show you that here. You got to turn, first you're facing away, and you got to turn and do all that stuff. And I didn't do that great on that one either, but I did okay. And then we had a little bit of a shoot off. Show you a little footage of that one here. And I was doing pretty good for a little while there, and then bam, the wheels didn't just fall off, the whole axle fell off, as you can see. So, but then Thursday night, we got to do something else I'd never done before. We did some night shooting, low light shooting and actual night shooting, which was really cool again. Finally, Friday. It's qualifying day. And what that means is there's different levels of certificate you can get. So based on this is subjective, based on your scoring and what your instructors think about your performance during the week, you get different levels. And at the very, very lowest level, then you need to take 250 again before they feel like you're competent enough to go on to another class. But I think I squeaked by that one and got the, I can take another class now. So. But it was cool. We had, again, simulators in the morning. This time there were different ones. They've got 2 indoor and 2 outdoor. And it was really, really stressful but fun. Again, I really enjoyed the outdoor simulator, even though I kind of wheels fell off on me a little bit on there. And then we did the time shooting where the target flips around. You got to get so many points. And we did El Presidente. You got to get so many points. Go, go, go. Then we finished up the week with a class shoot-off. And I made it to the finals. This was my first match in the finals. And as you can see, I did pretty good in this match. Then in my second match in the finals, well, as you can see, the wheels kind of fell off on me again. And I wound up tied for 4th. But altogether, it was a great week. And I'm not too ashamed of my performance. And then we got our graduation, got our certificate. And we got to tour the sconce, which is Colonel Cooper and his wife's house they built. And sconce means little fortress in French. And it's really, I understand that this house is built with defensiveness in mind. And it had just so many features in it that were based on defensive. And we got to see his office, and we got to see his gun collection, which is pretty cool. And also, like, I look down and there's a bear rug. I mean, not a bear rug. There's a lion rug, like a lion head there, and there's heads all over the house. He was a pretty avid big game hunter, so that was pretty cool. But then we also, what was really cool, it was a tradition that his wife started, and she passed away a few years ago at 99 years old, by the way, where all the students of the 250 class tour the house, and they get to have brownies and homemade brownies, really good homemade brownies, and sweet tea and lemonade. And his daughters maintained the tradition using her recipe, and the brownies rock the house. So anyway, there's that. I don't want to drag this video out anymore. That's my kind of quick review of the 250 course, kind of give you just something to expect if you know it. So I said I was going to talk about Gunsight overall, just a brief history. So it's 3,000 acres with a lot of different ranges and venues. They've got long range stuff, short range stuff, rifles, guns, shotguns, all kinds of stuff like that. They have a great pro shop. Everything from sunscreen, if you forget yours like somebody did, to gun cleaning supplies, holsters, belts, just any kind of gun stuff you might need, to actual firearms, to the usual swag, like hats and shirts and stuff. However, I will warn you, the most dangerous place on Gunsight campus is the pro shop, because you can run a tab and you settle up at the end of the week. And that can get dangerous if you're not careful. Another thing I thought was cool about the campus, all the buildings are named for books of the Bible. Like the gun shop is named Luke, which is my son's name. You might have seen him before. The classroom is Revelation, and the bathrooms are John. So anyway, that was pretty cool. They have a gunsmith on site. They have rental guns. They have a really nice campground with individual rooms with showers and bathrooms. Got a little kitchen. The campground has water and power hookups, but no sewer dumps. So there's a place you have to dump in town if you have that. And finally, the people, everybody I met in any capacity was absolutely friendly and nice and helpful. I mean, I can't say enough about the people. People are really cool there. So anyway, there's that. Now, I said I was going to tell you about my likes and my dislikes. First of all, I have to be honest, I really have no dislikes. On the course evaluation, it said things you would change. I couldn't think of anything to change. I mean, really, everything was great. There was a couple of things different maybe in the training. Some of the things ways we did things are not what I was used to, and maybe couple things I might even not agree 100% with. But that's true anywhere. Altogether, I'd say they were pretty much in line with everything that I already knew and already had learned, and a lot of stuff I didn't know. So it was a great time. The likes. First of all, again, the instructors. It's just like I've said before about the folks at Tactical Response, the folks at Gunsight, 100%. I could tell they care that people are learning what they need to learn, and people are leaving that place more prepared to defend themselves and their family. They're very, very patient. It's not like a boot camp environment where they're not screaming and yelling at you. They were very patient with everybody, very supportive, just extremely, extremely helpful and knowledgeable. Because the thing about training is you can go practice, and a lot of people confuse training with practice. Practice is what you do on your own. And the thing about training is with a good instructor, they can see what you're doing and help you make corrections that you might not even be aware that need to be corrected, or maybe just ways to improve what you're already doing that you might not even know about. And then you know what to practice. So again, really, really good instructors. They really care. I really like the time pressure targets. That's something I've never done before. Like they're up here, you got this many seconds and they flip. So you got to, if it's a bad guy, you got a minute to shoot him or whatever. And I really, really like the simulators, especially the outdoor simulator. The outdoor simulator was my favorite part of the whole week because I think the cross applicability, if that's a word, as I said, that I can see to walking down a gully looking for stuff, for walking in a parking lot, paying attention, it helps you. I really think they help not just increase my situational awareness, but the ability to look at a situation to figure out the best way tactically to approach it. Really, really helpful. That was my favorite again. So that's the likes and dislikes. Finally, just a few tips if you decide to go to Gunsight. And, if you can afford it, I think it's a great thing to do. First of all, get the catered lunch. Catered lunch was absolutely worth every penny of it. It's like $12 a day. You don't have to drive anywhere because it's 20 minutes in town to go to whatever. And it was great. I mean, I don't like stuff I don't like condiments on my sandwiches. And you can at the beginning of the week, you tell them exactly what you want, what you don't like, whatever. And it was perfect. I had sandwiches and I had salad one day. Every single day was excellent. I'm telling you, the catered lunch rocks the house. Hydrate. It's 4,500 feet in elevation, and it is dry. It is a desert. So drink more than you think you need to drink. And finally, Lula magazine loader. What James Yeager said is his number one product he's seen in 20 years of SHOT Show. I firmly agree. You're going to be doing a lot of mag loading. Take mags. They recommend taking 3 or 4 mags. Take 6 or 7 if you got them. Load them up and load them the night before, and that'll help you. You don't have to. They give you plenty of time to go back and forth and do it, but the more you're ready, the better, right? So there we go. The bottom line. First of all, I highly recommend going to Gunsight. Now, here's the question I know I'm going to get because I'm a big proponent, a big fan of Tactical Response. You know that. Matter of fact, James Yeager from Tactical Response was just at Gunsight earlier this year, either late last year or early this year, and he's the one that I asked for advice, and his advice, first of all, was get the lunch, right? So I did, and I'm glad. He always gives me good advice. So, but I know people are going to ask me, how does it compare to Tactical Response and all that? So here's what I'd say about that. Tactical Response is a 2-day class, and it costs less money. For sure, it costs less money. And there's a lot of information in that 2-day class, and that class, fighting pistol class, changed my life. It is absolutely excellent. And is it better or worse than Gunsight? I can't make that determination. That's like asking me if a Gibson guitar is better or worse than a Fender. They are both excellent places to go, and you would be well served to go to either one of them. I think Gunsight's got the cool history, and I know that James would tell you that Gunsight is like the original. They're the people that started this whole business. And I know the folks at Gunsight would tell you that James Yeager is an excellent instructor and Tactical Response is a good school. They both say go to train with other people. So just put that whole one's better than the other out of your mind because you're not going to get that from me. They're both excellent schools, and I highly recommend them both. But this video is about Gunsight, so as I said, I highly recommend if you get the opportunity to go and you can afford it, it's in your budget. I would really recommend you go to Gunsight, and I'd also recommend you go to Tactical Response. So whatever you go, I recommend that you get some good qualified training, and I can't think of 2 better places to go than either one of those. So there you go. And I know there's other good schools out there, but those are the ones I personally have. I personally have experience with both those schools, and I think they're both great schools. But again, it was just cool to me to go to Gunsight, because I remember reading Jeff Cooper articles and magazines literally when I was a teenager, and that's been one of my lifelong dreams, is to go there, and thankfully I was able to, and I really appreciate it. So anyway, that's it for today. I really hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you didn't laugh too badly at the wheels falling off my wagons at every clip you saw. But that's it. I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared, and I'll see you next time.